there's just a lot of interactions I'm seeing people on podcasts having with their fans, with their audiences. I'm watching lines being crossed and blurred and all this stuff. And the thing it made me think about is how much access should we give people to us? Because on the one hand, you said this in your anger management thing, which I really liked, and your other posts,
appreciate
that you don't have issue with fans. You like the fans, you want to engage fans, and that's important. I think we all feel like that. We want to engage fans on the one hand. But sometimes, in my experience, as I'm learning more and more, if you engage them too much and give too much access, there's a sense of entitlement that grows and a false sense of closeness that comes that then breeds contempt. Because the moment you don't do exactly what you want them to do, at the exact moment they want it, suddenly the switch goes off and it goes from love to hate.
Guys, things are becoming a little complicated. They're becoming more complex. Even though you should, I talked about it on Patreon yesterday, in case you were unaware. Last week, it took place in places. You all need to familiarize yourselves with the community. I'm telling you, I think the community will play a significant role in the JBP in the future. Anyway, Dub and Imani got into a fight, in case you haven't heard before. In the Spaces community, which is essentially the YouTube community, Imani essentially shut off Dub and everyone else. Imani has stopped having personal conversations. Thus, they discussed it on Patreon today. Strangely enough, Mark is the one who wishes to bring up the topic. Apart from Joe, Mark has been making more of an effort to engage with everyone in the neighborhood. He has appeared on the Mark and Ian show with several members of the community. He makes phone calls and texts locals. Flip used to claim that Mark had donated money to community members. I think it's funny that he said this, strangely enough. However, I can assure you that things will change. I'm not sure if it will be for the better or worse in the future. However, Joe has a purpose for raising the price. Please remember what I said the last time I spoke about this, Pete. I therefore stated that the $25 tier might rise to $40. And even though I would really like to be angry, I produced another video for the Need to Know podcast today and talked about it. I said, wow, I wish I could be angry that they posted this interview with Behind the Paywall, but I can't. I am unable to do so since I would have to pay for whatever I truly desire if they had it. Or you're prepared to pay for anything if you truly want it. That's a better way to put it. Damn, I think. Therefore, based solely on the interactions with that community, the entire community is set to change. However, strangely enough, Mark, Ish, Ice, Imani, and Flip all have similar feelings. They just approach it differently. In reality, none of them is interested in interacting with us. In reality, none of them wish to create a community as Joe has. Since this is ultimately not their product to employ in the stated work, none of them wants to, unquote, input. We must therefore see things for what they are when they enter certain areas, argue with the fans, interrupt others, or, unquote, provide information.
There's an art to it that I think is often ignored. Right? Like, I don't think everyone here allows the same level of access to.
Joe, there's an art to it. To be honest, you're among the few individuals in this entire space who have figured it out. And I never stop trying to let everyone understand this. You must view the art you create apart from who you are. The art must be viewed as such. Every time I release a video, it disappears from view. I expressed my viewpoint. Individuals will hold their own opinions. What they need to say about you will be said. They will have the feelings they desire regarding you. That cannot change the course of your day. Your life cannot be changed by it. You cannot allow that to change your self-perception. I don't listen to the fans when I hear Ice talk because of this. That's not what I do. Even though this is how he first gained widespread recognition on Twitter, it shows me that he is concerned about what people think of him to the extent that it influences his daily life and his self-perception. And the most common thing I say is that when individuals hear criticism from others, they become angry and agitated because there may be merit to what they have to say. That's all.
That's where I struggle sometimes, because I think sometimes the negative comments resonate with us because there's a part of us who believes the negative part too. You know what I mean? Like there's an insecurity we might have about our performance or about our place in a situation or our talent or whatever, depending on the context. And sometimes those negative comments, they hit that insecurity and you're arguing with them, but you're really arguing with yourself. You're really trying to prove to yourself that you deserve this shit.
Ta-da. Just what did I say? Hey, Hey everyone, I'm gonna come up with a new term. I'm gonna come up with a new expression. They are impacted because they are impacted. They are impacted because they are impacted. If it didn't immediately impact them, they wouldn't care what we say or discuss in our groups or in our cosmos. Naturally, as they mention later in the program, you should keep an eye on everything that occurs on social media. However, you must accept the criticism for what it is and let it go unless it directly impacts you. This is especially true when it comes to the personal criticism that everyone else makes. It's either going to change or it won't. You will either alter it or you won't. I also have to give in to this. I can't even count the number of times I've blocked users on YouTube because they stated something that made me feel a certain way about myself or that I knew to be true. I agree with Mark that he ought to cease doing that. I also had to quit doing it. I had to quit examining every unfavorable comment for the truth it contained. Some people make offensive remarks that are unrelated to you, and you may find them funny. Hell, I'll stop with the laughing emojis, but occasionally that influences me since I already think that about myself. ICE is therefore highly informative. Hey, if any of you are on Patreon, return to that discussion and watch ICE's expression while Ish says everything he has to say on this subject, because you know ICE is full of it. That's the reason.
People that watch you to alter or upgrade your the way that you pod or how you do business. You be like, you could take some of that advice. Can you read something and say, you know what? I've been thinking about going this direction, and this really fits me, so I'm going to try it. Or you just totally say, I am who I am, I know who I am, and I want them to accept me whether they like me or not.
On this note, I wanted to wrap things up. I would like to ask every one of you that question. Do you pay attention to what other people have to say? Additionally, it might appear on any social media site. It might occur in the real world. It might be your supervisor. It may be a coworker, your mother, your daughter, your spouse, your father, or anyone else. If someone has helpful advice, do you listen to them regardless of your relationship with them? Or do you ignore them because of your opinion of them? This is a question of society. Joe is an expert at seeing people for who they truly are. Years ago, he used to declare, I watch everyone, whether they have 2 views or 1 million. I'd want to hear it if they have something significant to say. Additionally, because Joe is observing how some of the co-hosts are shifting, I will refer to this on Pandora today as well. Additionally, they believe they are just having a typical conversation. They don't even say anything because to them it's just normal, but not to Joe. I want you all to ask yourselves some questions. Do you listen to what other people have to say? Whether or not you listen to them, how you perceive them, or whether or not what they have to say is true. As always though, please subscribe to the page if you haven't already and like the video if you do. If so, you already know how awesome we are here. Since you guys have been requesting it, I'm going to try to improve the production and incorporate more video. And that's one of the criticisms that I frequently get from my audience. And it bothers me because I don't see why you can't just enjoy the work that I'm doing instead of paying attention to them and improving your own company or platform. Your wish is therefore my command. I value your patience and support and will begin adding more footage in the future. We will therefore keep running it up. I'll see you all on YouTube later today or on Patreon shortly. Calm.